Welcome, Summoners, to the Garena Premier League Spring Season 2015. My name is Flavors. Alongside J-Storm, we'll be bringing you another exciting set of GPL matches. Ladies and gentlemen, if you still haven't caught up to it, the GPL format now is 2 games, so that will be 4 teams facing off against each other in sets of 2.
So Flavors, this is week number 4, game number 3, so you'll be wrapping up the first cycle of the first stage of the GPL. So after today, all the teams will have played against each other once.
Alright, so thank you to J-Storm for keeping track of those statistics. Definitely the GPL has been winding its way along, and Group D, well, of course, it has been dubbed by some as the group of development, the group of despair by others, because definitely this is a group in which we see teams honestly struggling a little bit, despite, well, there are some new names in here, but there have been some teams we've seen before, and they just aren't performing.
Disqualification of Hanoi, the 4th seed, coming in top of the group, but they ended up drawing 1-1 against Zotac 269 as well as by 2 new teams coming in from the Vietnamese region as well as the Malaysian region. Both of them not doing too well in their own domestic league.
That's right, and in case you're wondering why exactly we're looking here and there, well, the monitors on our screen aren't currently working, so we actually have to take a look at the stadium screen, so don't be too disorientated. That's where we're getting our graphics from. So definitely, like we said, this group, teams struggling here and there, and of course, for some of the teams that we have within this group, Insidious Gaming Legends, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, we just saw them perform, and none other than our own Singapore-Malaysia circuit. And you have to say, these teams, despite playing in the Garena Premier League, so-called the Big Boys League, they honestly didn't stand out as much as some of the other teams. So, what are your thoughts on that, J-Storm? I mean, are these guys ready to compete on this level yet or not?
I mean, here's the thing, when you play in the GPL, you expect your performance to improve, but sometimes when you get such an easy group, you kind of get a little bit complacent.
Right.
We've seen Legends, I do believe in Insidious Gaming Legends, that's always been their weak point. They get really complacent and then they start making all these mistakes, resulting in them falling behind in games or simply not going to a game with any game plan at all.
That's right, so we'll definitely have to see, guys. We're waiting, of course, for the players to get into lobby, and we'll have to see whether or not these guys really get into their mind that the GPL season, after all, like J-Storm said, already passed about its halfway point, and it's about time to settle down, really bring out all the plays you have to say to make sure that you seize that top spot, because we are talking about double group stages, and only certain, I believe the top 2 from each group will move on, and the 2nd seed will face the 1st seed from another group, so you don't want to even be in that position to face off a stronger opponent coming in from the opposing groups. Now, again, going back to the performance of the teams we're a little more familiar with, Insidious Gaming Legends as well as Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they just came out from a tournament event, of course the Legends Circuit Grand Finals event. They themselves dropped to the 2nd seed from both Singapore and Malaysia respectively. I wonder then if they'll really be ready for regional competition. Again, we talk about some of these teams being very new. What do you see then are some of the ways, for example, for some of these new bloods to get in on these, we want to say, more experienced teams, but perhaps a little bit complacent, they look a little rusty? Let's talk about Bizarro, K-Thanks By, Zotac 269. What kind of tricks do these guys have up their sleeve? Alright, just give us a moment, guys. Seems like we are suffering from some technical issues on Garena's side. Get those clarified ASAP. And of course, I was just talking about the points on Zotac 269 as well as Bizarro K-Thanks By. What exactly they can do to take advantage of, you can say, perhaps the more experienced but rather complacent or honestly looking a little shoddy, more experienced members of the Garena Premier League in Group D. And personally to me, what stands out is basically getting into a game with the ability to punish mistakes. Now, this is one of the ways I think that we see teams that are new to Garena Premier League basically, I want to say, find a foothold in their groups. You know, these are the teams that want to I keep saying basically, because to me it goes back to basics. It's about punishing the mistakes of the enemy, and sometimes when you don't have a game plan of your own or you're not too confident in your own mechanics, you know, don't go for those highlight reel plays. Look at how the enemy is playing, and then from there you assess where are the weaknesses and where the deficiencies you can attack. So guys, we are into pick and ban. Let's get right into that. Looks like it is Zerf and Tristana being taken away on the side of KLH, whereas Sejuani Fizz on the side of 269. Now, of course, we have seen before KLH Moon bring out the Sejuani in previous GPL matches, so it looks like Zotac 269 doesn't want to deal with that champion just yet. Leona being the last ban coming out from 269, and Lissandra on the side of KLH. Of course, looks like they have denied quite a bit of engage on the side of 269, and KLH will answer with the first pick Jarvan, giving them access to that engage should they wish. And what will be the response from 269? It would be interesting to see Celebrity on his Graves. Of course, it was his Corki that got the first ever pentakill of the GPL Spring season, if I recall correctly. Has been a while since we witnessed that match, but definitely his Corki has been very, very impressive in his play, and we're waiting to see if Graves will be his choice for him. Of course, Graves in the 4.21 patch, not too shabby himself.
So over here, we actually see them picking up the Grace and prioritizing the Syndra as well. 269, in general, this group over here, the pick and ban phase isn't really the best coming in. Now, a lot of people feel that Corki by far is the strongest AD carry. He's so good in the early stages of the game, being able to bully out his lane opponents. He's very strong in the middle stages as well, dealing AoE damage to team fight, something that a lot of marksmen are not able to do. But in this case, 269, we've gone for Graves here, who's got a little bit more damage in the earlier stages of the game, and they've picked up a Syndra as well, kind of revealing their strategy. They want lots of single target burst damage coming in, and perhaps they might be going for a pick composition. But it is rather interesting that they would give up a trash in this case, so we have to see what KLH will be responding with.
Yep, Syndra has been banned away multiple times in the meta as well, and it really looks like you said, in terms of the pick ban phase, we definitely have seen this group basically take a little more liberty, I would say, in picking more so what they want than what the meta may demand of them, and that can really be very punishing for teams that are, you know, not so mechanically skilled, not so experienced to really stray away from the box too much. But nevertheless, there are some strengths that are already shaping up from the side of 269. Graves and Syndra, pick any one champion, and that is a lot of burst damage that will be coming your way. So I do like what we see on the side of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters then. Orianna is very, very safe. She of course has her shields that can protect against burst and really punishes Syndra if she tries to approach without her flash. Can easily drag her in with the command shockwave, and well, Janna as well will help to provide some of the shielding, so they have prepped themselves for the potential burst damage coming out on the side of 269. Now if we do see this Thresh and Elise picked up, it would mean then that they have tons of ways on the side of 269 to get that one member locked down and then follow up with all the bursts necessary to take them down. So
it's like I called it, Flavors, it is going to be a pick comp. They're going to be having a lot of vision pressure on their opponent's jungle with these two skill sharp champions coming in together with the Syndra. Lee Sin as well does a pretty fine job in this case, except that he has the Dragon's Rage. As a form of disengage, they kind of get off a sticky situation if the rest of the team is there to back their own teammates up. So now the South Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they're more of going for wombo combo or Rihanna together with Jarvan. Go in there, Jarvan, not exactly the best ball delivery system, but it should suffice most of the time with the Cataclysm. I do believe Rumble might be the top laner. Just go in for the full wombo combo, lay down the red carpet for them, and then suck the rest of 269 onto it.
That's definitely a viable strategy given how pick composition, yeah, you may be able to get one of our members, and even then if the positioning is good on the opposing side, maybe you get a support, maybe you get the tank, but if the carries are left alive, that's really when your cooldowns have been spent, mine haven't. Rumble, Orianna, Jarvan could just be a fantastic wombo combo for KLH to respond with, but they're really taking the time with this one. Jaeyoung will be locking in that Vayne for himself, had some pretty fantastic performances at the event, the TLC Grand Finals event, so he's very comfortable in that champion. Looks like it isn't going to be the Rumble, but the Gnar. So the Gnar Jarvan combo, Narvan combo will be available to the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. This is something we've seen many a team though, internationally even, guys. You know, I mean, mad props to just the other regions for having, you know, higher levels of play, but even then, we've seen more experienced teams, more professional teams screw up this combination. So KLH, you gotta say, stretching themselves here, and I mean, we said it before, J-Storm, halfway through the GPL regular group stages, this seems a little bit risky from them, honestly.
Well, for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, this is something they're very familiar with because the Oriana as well as the Janna here, they double up as to protect the Jaeyoung composition that they love to play so much.
That's right.
Because back then, they used to be the CLG of these scenes. They
Yes.
had no idea what they were doing. They had this star AD carry on their team. So what was the plan? Let's protect the AD carry, get everyone pick shields, grab the heal summoner spell, and we can see on Jaeyoung's side, he's not even going for the heal summoner spell. Extremely selfish play here. It's all about keeping myself alive. It doesn't matter if my teammates die. So long as the Vayne stays alive, that is KLH's plan. Him going for the barrier here is another symptom of that. But let's talk a little bit about this Irelia pick coming here from 269. I really like it because they know that Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they want to go for this massive wombo combo. So if you hide the rest of the members who want to be finding picks and send their Irelia into the side lanes to split push, you can position with the rest of your team members in the jungle to try and pick out the rotating members of KLH if they're not too careful.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see whether 269 plays the map that way, because definitely we've seen on paper, we can discuss and talk all about just the different strategies that can be employed. But again, this Group D, the group of development, oftentimes when it comes to strategy, late game rotations and all that, sometimes they tend to choke a little bit, and oftentimes it's just who makes the mistake first rather than who makes the right move first, and that really is the leg up. But nevertheless, in terms of pickman phase, I really do have to say the KLH do have a formidable composition. Might be stretching themselves a little bit in terms of whether they can execute correctly or not, but that's what makes the game exciting. And after all, you pointed out the barrier spell on Jaeyoung. Well, it's on Azura Veki as well. So they really have prepped themselves in terms of anybody gets picked or locked down for a little bit and the damage is going to be loaded onto them. Well, they have prepped for that possibility. They are ready for it.
Definitely indeed. The barrier spell is going to help them mitigate a little bit of damage that will be coming from beyond. But what might be a possibility for 269 here is for Destroy to just simply camp out the mid lane, because Syndra as well as Lee Sin is a very strong 2v2 matchup against that of Moon as well as Azura Vaki's Oriana and Jarvan combination.
Right.
Most of the time the Lee Sin will be able to punish out an extension coming from Jarvan or Oriana in the mid lane, and if they are able to snowball beyond Azura Vaki, see what I did there? The Syndra will be able to burst them down regardless of the summoner spell, and that's when things start to become very problematic for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, because Vayne, if there's a ping ward, if they are able to get vision, she won't be able to survive very long if the Syndra still has ultimate up.
Yeah, and that's definitely one way to break apart a wombo combo. I mean, for any of you that are looking to get a little more, ranked 5 experience under your belt, or just really theory craft about team compositions, well, when you look at a wombo combo composition and you just don't want it to get to that point where it's just everything's piling in on you, take it apart surgically, right? Pick one lane, one portion of the engage that you just don't want to deal with, like the command shockwave. Keep her down, and that's really something that will help you break apart the composition. So I agree with you. I really do think that mid lane focus will be one way for the composition of 269 to go into the mid and late game with a little more confidence under their belt. Because if Azura Veki doesn't get going on his Oriana, then that of course means that, well, the combination, the wombo combo of Jarvan, Gnar, and Oriana, is just a little more manageable to deal with, because we've already discussed Gnar and Jarvan, that combination takes a lot of teamwork and communication, whereas Oriana has been in the game since forever. Everybody knows the possibility of that wombo combo.
Here's the reason why I'm a little bit worried for KLH, because the last few times you've seen Azura Vaki, he was playing either in the AD carry position or he was playing the Fizz in the mid lane. So he's either playing this marksman in the back or he's playing this assassin in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And the playstyles of these champions compared to an Oriana are extremely different. Well, I have to say his Fizz was decent to a certain extent.
Yeah.
We have to see how well his Oriana performs. And this is the thing, when you transition from a mage player in the mid lane to say assassin player in the mid lane, it sometimes becomes a little bit difficult to transition back.
Sure.
Because one wants to be flipping a lot of coins, going in for these very risky engagements so that your team is able to make the plays to get a hit. And the other is all about controlling the rest of your teammates, providing the zones for them, and trying to control and choke out, okay, this is the areas that my ball is in, this is the area where the Syndra can place her orbs, and this is how we're going to play the team fights.
That's
So
right.
it's very different mentalities, and we have to see if Azura Vaki has been able to adapt into the new role that he's been playing with this Oriana in the mid lane.
That's right. So guys, we have laid out many of the possibilities, talked about how things look on paper and how they stack up against each other in the black and white. And now we're just waiting really for the loading screen to come on to let us know that the players are indeed loading onto Summoner's Rift. And I must say, you pointed out Azura Veki. I do think he has the versatility to play around them, but one thing about KOH, we have talked about it time and time again, is the fact that the way they engage with Jaeyoung even in different positions, now that he's back on 80, is very different. And we see when Jaeyoung was in the jungle position, he was way more, as you can see now. There are the Kuala Lumpur Hunters on your screen. When Jaeyoung was in the jungle position, often he would activate aggression in the lanes time and time again. Now that he's in the AD carry position, I do think this is 269 opportunity, as you can see right there on your screen.
Flavors. It's time to play this game. It's called Name That Player.
I'm struggling, honestly. I'm struggling.
Oh no, they didn't let me play the game, so it's back to us casters.
Just back to us. I do think that the loading will take a little longer. Not too sure what the delay is all about, but nevertheless, talking about KLH again, right before we do jump into game, the fact that they swap players around is really, as I like to call it, just different KLHs you're up against. I do think that the passive start with Jaeyoung in the AD carry position is something Zotac 269 must exploit if they want to get a leg up on this more experienced team.
Oh, Flavors, I'm really excited because spawning on the red side is Zotac 269, and spawning on the blue side, we are going to be having the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, the flagship team of Malaysia, going up against one of the Vietnamese teams currently struggling a little bit in the domestic league, but we have to see how these two teams stack up against each other. It will be a wombo combo team fighting composition against the pick composition that 269 have very forcefully drafted.
That's right. It is, like I said, something that teams kind of stray outside the meta, decide to search around for a team composition outside of the set box, and well, we've seen sometimes struggling teams or less experienced teams find success with them and others just choke, and we'll really have to see. I think it will come down to execution. KLH on their end, I mean, this is really comfort for them. Jaeyoung back on the AD carry position. Moon, of course, we have seen different KLH players in the jungle before. Moon, of course, with his most recent performances was on the Sejuani. But, I mean, Jarvan is your pretty much go-to jungler in 4.21. I don't think he'll struggle on that champion at all. And it really come down to, I think, the early game action of where exactly does Destroy focus? Which lane does he seek to destroy, and whether or not his attempts will be successful?
I'm actually wondering if KLH will go for a lane swap in this situation, because if they go for a lane swap, you're setting up your Vayne very early on, and you're shutting down your opponent's Arella in this case. So you're getting your scaling champion ahead in terms of levels, in terms of farm, and you're shutting down your opponent's scaling option as well. So if KLH goes for a lane swap over here, that would make a lot of sense. But it's 148 at the moment, and it looks like they will just be defaulting to normal lanes, and they'll be risking that Vayne against Graves' trash matchup. If the death sentence lands on the Jaeyoung, he's gonna be in a whole bunch of trouble.
And we've seen KLH actually do this time and time again. You know, we see them look at the 2v2, kind of weigh and...
Oh no, it resetted.
It reset a little bit. That's a little bit unfortunate. They're going to be actually very, very late to the lane right here. That's actually very, very unfortunate.
Oh, no, Flavors!
Oh, man.
Oh,
goodness.
Flavors.
Oh, don't even say my name. Do not associate me with this, J-Storm. Not one bit. No, I don't want anything. I don't want anything to do with that. Nope. Oh, actually, you got it. So, there is the level 2 hit, thankfully, but still very, very late to the lane, and that will mean both Celebrity and Sir will actually get level 2 very quickly. I think it's just one more minion. Oh, no, that last melee minion, and both of them will hit 2. No, okay. There we go. And, well, that's...
Oh, Caspel! The flame comes in, Celebrity gets exhausted, but there we go. The auto attacks are coming down, and Celebrity and Sarah and Sir are just simply shredding through Caspel and Jaeyoung. Both of them just drop so low right now. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, the failed leash onto the Krugs has really cost them.
You know what, J-Storm? That's MVP Krugs right there. You thought that was Sir and Celebrity? No, man. That was Krugs through and through. But no, but to be fair to Sir, he had a great prediction on the juking or the passing of Caspio. And just as I say that, he goes for the through pass between Jaeyoung and Caspio and absolutely misses them. But, I mean, that's worrying signs for KLH. Definitely a little bit of mismanagement of the juggling right there.
Oh, Crom tries to go down to 13, goes Destroy, comes around from the back, the Sonic Wave does land, and there we go, it is the Tempest and the Cripple as well, and 13 goes will be forced to back away, so dropping him very low, very early on, that should only blow the teleport from 13 goes if he does decide to recall, so he will be recalling, and not the best of ganks, but it is still a small win for Destroy.
That's right. I don't want to overanalyze things, J-Storm, but so far, skill shots on the side of 269 do show us that even though they're a rather inexperienced team, you said their path out of the Vietnamese qualifiers were a little bit rough, but hey, they've got some mechanics to boot. They have been controlling the lanes relatively well. You can see 20 to 12 in the top lane, 21 to 12 now, 24 to 19. So credit to Jaeyoung for stabilizing that lane somewhat. We did, of course, see Moon try to wrap around, but good warding by 269 means that they spotted him out. And so far, Destroy 1 gank, Moon 0.
So now there's going to be a little bit of downtime at both junglers. They want to be recalling at this period to be able to pick up their jungling item. We already see Moon going back and picking up the Stalker's Blade for himself. That's going to give him a slightly stronger gank because he's going to be able to walk into the lane and get the slowdown to his opponent, so they're less able to juke the flag and drag combination that will be coming in from the Jarvan.
Ooh, what's that? We've got zeros dancing all over the screen, J-Storm. It's a wonky game to begin with. Oop, there's a nice play.
Drop very low, and that is the barrier summoner spell. But here comes Moon in from the back. It is a summoner spell. We're talking about Jaeyoung stays around for too long, and he's forced to blow his flash. Celebrity goes for the dive, and he's got first blood. It is the gang from KLH, but his celebrity gets first blood instead, and now he's hiding in a brush over here. Very sneaky. Casville, is he gonna find him? Casville, he wants the brush.
What did he recall?
The recall happens.
Didn't even auto attack. I'm sure the Howling Gale was on cooldown. Let's give him the benefit of doubt there, but it didn't even auto attack. It's just pretty much he was like, "Hey, buddy."
I'll give Casper these. Even if he did auto attack, the time that would have taken the projectile to fly towards him,
it would have been close.
It would have been a little bit too late because in the last second of your recall, you can't be interrupted by damage.
Sure. So let's just say that Caspian was playing that cool and was like, "Nah, not gonna get it anyways." Didn't even bother to exert himself with, you know, a left click or right click. It's a lot of effort. It's going to be 2 games after all, guys. This is the new GPL format. I like mentioning that because it's fun to see teams clash time and time again. But, oh, Celebrity here. Oh, perfect hook onto Moon.
Hook onto Moon, but there we go. It is Howling Gale. That would knock him out. Celebrity drop very low, and that is going to be the last hit for Jaeyoung. So the plan for KLH very clear in this case, but here comes the response beyond Surf, and the teleport coming as well. This is utter chaos in the ball lane. They stun up Jaeyoung. Surf gets the slay onto 2 people. It's a 3-on-4, but with the 6-9 be able to pull this off. They get 1. Would they be able to get a second one? Beyond drop very low right now. 13 Ghost is able to get the kill with the auto attack. He turns on the Chrome now. Azora Becky coming in from the lane as well. It is the shield, and the flash is forced. And KLH, they will be able to trade 1 for 1 after that very messy fight.
Very aggressive play coming in from 269. The ward drop pretty much just to get the TP started off, and gotta say that was a nice aggressive move, but clearly not thought out through and through, because when you teleport and you know the enemies teleport up, it's pretty much gonna get answered right there, and they were already at a numbers disadvantage, and they actually brute forced that, and you have to say KLH just came out ahead right there, more prepared for the teleport eventuality and playing that just a little bit smoother.
Well, KLH, they have been showing the experience thus far, but 269, they have been a more aggressive team, and here they are just going in for the dragon. They feel confident, they feel that they should be able to bully out this scaling on the side of Jaeyoung as well as Azora Raki, and they're just going for the dragon right now. Oriana unable to do too much poke, and 269 pick up an easy dragon for themselves. That's going to give them a nice damage boost in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I really do agree, J-Storm, with the tempo that 269 is trying to play the game to right here. It just seems that the more experienced and settledness of KOH after the Krug start seems to be working in their favor. Teleport answered very, very readily by 13 Ghosts and Co. And this is how KOH plays their games from a comfortable place. You know, they say bottom lane focus because Jaeyoung is going to be the late game carry for us. The enemy team knows that as well. They're very ready to answer with teleports. You can see Moon visiting the lane time and time again, especially after flashes have been burnt. So, I mean, this is textbook KLH for you with Jaeyoung in the bottom.
Definitely flavors. You mentioned textbook KLH, and it is very classic KLH. In fact, they love to focus bot lane, they love to get Jaeyoung a hit, and they like to take the early dragon. But the execution this time was a little bit botched, allowing 269 to be the team instead who picks up the dragon for themselves. So we see the go roughly even. KLH has a slight lead, but the dragon that 269 were able to pick up earlier on should more or less even that up, if not put them ahead in terms of going head-on against each other. But let's take a look at the major power spikes that both of these teams are looking for. Flavors, can you try and run us through that?
Alright, some big items being picked up. Top side, it is of course the Sheen for Chrom, and well, it's nicely answered by 13 Ghosts, who himself, no big core item just yet, but he has that Giant's Belt, and that will allow the base stats of Gnar to really allow him to bully them out. And
there we go, is the Gnar and the stun Cataclysm into them. KLH, they are making the moves now. Moon visited the bottom lane, moves into the top lane, and he finds the kill onto 269's top laner.
That's right, so it's a really nice job by KLH to just read the item builds. We were just going over them. When you build the Sheen, Irelia pretty much wants to go aggressive. With the Giant's Belt pickup on 13 Ghost Side, he knows he'll be able to survive the lane and use his base stats and base damage to at least go even. But if you want to get the kill, you need to bring the jungler up there. That's exactly what they did. So just really nicely played, not allowing Irelia to bully around her power spike. But
here comes Destroy, the ping wall prevents it, the flash and the flame misses. And there we go, the wall is popped, but it doesn't get on 21. That was
it's over.
Disaster coming from 269.
So, flash, flay, as well as the exhaust coming in from Sir. Gotta say that was a bit more of a Psy play than a Sir play, but you know what? We're talking about this before. This is 269 wanting to set the tempo of the game, but just not quite having the execution for it. Caspiel, very, very settled in his own play, using the Monsoon to pretty much deny the follow-up that would have already been a bit of a stretch. Jaeyoung needed to only activate his ultimate, and that was pretty much it. No summoners burnt. Well, Caspiel did have to burn his flash, but with your AD carry having both summoners, if Destroy does come back here, it'll still be a very difficult gank to pull off. Moon in the area as well.
Oh, the Death Sentence barely misses on the Caspiel, but here comes Destroy. It is the Lantern gank, but the Jarvan is there for the response. KLH, they might be able to win this one. Caspiel draw very low. Destroy will be the focus. Jaeyoung picks up a second kill for himself. They're still on the chase. They go on and they turn on to Surf. The red buff is there. His last shot will come in, and the Trash will be slain for a double kill for Jaeyoung.
Alright, very unfortunate right there. Destroy actually messing up his ward jump Dragon Rage combination, pushing Caspiel farther away, and that meant that 269 were overextended, not even able to reply with a kill. And this Vayne that they've been trying to keep down and had trouble with the Krugs in early game. What a resurgence Jaeyoung is having now, 3, 2, and 1. Look at that, being very, very confident to actually get more damage onto Celebrity. And it really just is a bait, of course, because there's 2 members in wave.
You know, Flavors, watching this game makes me feel like those just for laughs clips you see on TV sometimes. You go down there and then you see all these things happening, but it turns out to be a prank. And it feels like both of these teams are taking turns to prank us, the casters, right now. Because it's like, okay, there are these players coming in and they just go in there and mess things up miserably.
Yeah, I mean, like
there we go, Cataclysm and Surf drop extremely low. One last shot will be coming in, but here comes the teleport and the response teleport as well. Chrom doesn't cancel it, and now 13 Ghosts will be coming. The Mega now not available for him just yet. Jaeyoung still on the chase, however, 13 Ghosts moves forward. We actually see the circles being stacked around the graves.
Yeah, this doesn't bode well for 269 at all. It's strange to see them continuing to try and make these plays, J-Storm, when just before the exact same play was denied to them. They're already at a numerical disadvantage with Sir being taken down.
It's the Mega now. He has a flash. There we go. He flashes it. The Gnar will come in. They turn on the Celebrity. The Graves will fall. Jaeyoung dealing so much damage with the Vayne. And now this should be an easy turret, but will they turn for Chrom? He goes in. He starts up Jaeyoung under the turret. The turret is focusing down, but the barrier will come in to save Jaeyoung's life.
Oh, Sir trying to catch up Moon right here, but your entire team has already fallen, so there will be no follow-up coming for KLH. And Dragon will respond in 30 seconds. The members of KLH will back off, and Vecchi himself taking a little bit of damage, but his job really was to occupy Beyond and make sure that he didn't visit the bot lane in all that action. And that was nicely done. So, again, back to my point on why 269's plays have been a little bit strange was because the teleport play, which they have not tried to force just once, but twice now, the answer has been clear through and through. It's just going to be an answered teleport, and you're facing a numerical advantage already. Every time it's Sir being taken down or Celebrity already, and then the answer is not a teleport because you're already missing members.
Definitely
strange.
Flavors. So KLH just having the better responses this game. They didn't really have the best mechanics in terms of leashing the Crocs, in terms of straight up lane mechanics, but they are the ones to win these fights. Their ability to brawl has just been superior to that of 269, and we see this a lot in the domestic league as well, in the TLC. They are very good at these very small skirmishes, they're very good at these head-on team fights, and I feel that 269, they aren't really making use of the composition. They have a big composition over here, but choosing to skirmish repeatedly with KLH, that isn't really the best of ideas. And now 269, they will be trying to contest the Dragon over here. And KLH, they are all in position to respond. 13 goes, he isn't the Mega Knight just yet. Sir goes in with the death sentence and tries to get a response. Jeong is the focus, and it is the shutdown. 269 turning things around, Celebrity and everyone turning from the back. They get Moon as well. It is 269's turn to win this fight. 13 goes will now be the focus. Crom chasing onto him, but the slow will be coming in from the Boomerang, and they're turning around. They try to catch out Caspian. Hook lands onto him, and there we go. Damage comes in. Celebrity will pick up the kill, and it is going to be a second Dragon for 269.
Oh well, 13 Ghosts might want to have a say in this. 4-2 though mean that KLH will have to be very careful in how they approach this. In the meantime, 269 getting a little bit low.
Zotac, he dropped extremely low. One lost auto attack. He is flashed away. 13 Ghost tries to go in. Does he get beyond? He's unable to do so. And the return kill will be picked up by the mid laner 269. And it is going to be the second Dragon after all. They didn't have the jungler KLH. They got a little bit frisky. They tried to contest that and they got punished out for it. Really back and forth this game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw right there as well that Crom really on point with his equilibrium strikes. Really just fantastic right there. I think that if KLH had managed to pick off the kill onto Beyond, they would have actually stalled long enough for Moon to get back. But Crom playing around that equilibrium strike very, very nicely done to save his teammates. But just to rewind and take our audience a little bit back to how that all started out was Jeong getting caught by a death sentence. And this is something we've seen have to say it time and time again from Jeong. His positioning on the AD carry, he tends to choke a little bit, I have to say, when it comes to set pieces, when it comes to setting up for team fights. And we've seen this tendency to kind of get action rolling on the side of KOH come from their captain, but not always in the most optimal ways. When he's on the jungle role, there's a lot of overextensions at times, and I think as the AD carry himself, I think as a whole he might have been telling his team, look, we've been winning the skirmishes, yes, we're a late game composition sort of, but maybe we can take the fight. And you saw him step forward a little bit. Really nice hook by Sir to just land it onto him, and that pretty much started off the fight very, very nicely for 269. I don't expect them to get such a team fight ever again though if Jeong positions better.
Well, Jeong's positioning has to be of utmost importance for KLH, and there we go. It is another gank. Moon goes in, but it is a counter and coming in from it. The burst! Oh, the burst is just so much to get one, and now it's just a 2-4-2 jungler and AD carry versus AD carry in support. But here comes Zotac coming in from the backside. The shockwave will be able to pick up the destroy, and 13 Ghosts is there for the response as well. But Syndra hiding in the backlines. Will she be coming in? The stun misses, and now 269 they end up losing out in the engagement. But Celebrity still wanting to trade with 13 Ghosts. 269 they find themselves in a slight pinch over here, but the members of KLH a little bit low.
269 must back up for this. 13 Ghosts could easily dive with his Mega Knight form. Oh, Crom actually
coming in. Does he go for Jeong? He already used the Blade Surge once and was not able to get the reset. Little bit of mechanical misplace, and here we see Jeong turning around onto him and doing the damage, getting one prop off the silver boats. Oh, they start 13 Ghosts, and this is gonna be the ultimate Beyond, just picking up 13 Ghosts SK.
Sir's back, so team fight very, very extended right here. Can they land the hook?
Tumbled out of the way. Caspian showing his face. Will he get hit by the Flay? The Flay getting nothing but air this time. Oh, Moon! Very good knockaway coming in from Beyond. And now KLH, they really want to brawl right now, but 269, they have the mechanics and they prevent the engagement from happening.
That's right. So, KLH, not afraid of the aggression being thrown their way, and you have to say, with a lot of mechanical mistakes coming out from 269's side, such as that, that definitely gives the opposing team some confidence to take these brawls.
Is 6, 3, and 4 on the Vayne. Will the Rune King completed at a very early stage. If the Vayne is able to stay alive in these fights, he will be able to deal out so much damage. If he is able to isolate any member of the opponent team and avoid the initial burst coming in from them, he will be able to easily outduel them with his current item set. But the thing is, if he gets caught out by the Flay or the hook coming from Surf, he will be instantly bursted down. Oh, Casper drop extremely low. And there we go, collateral damage. But the response, come on, Shockwave comes in as well. Just ultimates being traded back and forth. 13 Ghosts, he tries to go in for the execute. The smoke screen has been dropped. He's slowed up beyond now, dueling out with the monster now, and the power unleash will be just taking down the little prehistoric Yordle.
Yeah, there's been a few times where Beyond has killed 13 Ghosts right before he hits that Mega Gnar form. Very, very timely executions, you can say. And we talked about the 6-4 or 6-3 just a few moments ago, Vayne, and we have to take a look, of course, at the 4-1 and 4 Syndra. I mean, this is pretty much the response to any carry that is fed on the enemy team. Well, blow them up before they blow you up, and they've definitely set up Syndra to do that, going back to get the needlessly large rod right now, and it'll really have to come down to how KLH plays around the cooldown windows. They went very, very aggressive in that play with the Unleashed power still available, with the ultimate of Graves still available, the collateral damage, and you can see the burst damage coming out from Graves and Syndra is very respectable.
Here's the thing I have to question for Beyond's build. Yes, it's a hit of the gold curve, but going for the Athenes instead of the more gold efficient Borrelonomicon, which gives more AP, which gives you a little bit more burst, I have to find that that's a little bit questionable, considering the most of the damage on KLH side comes in the form of physical AD damage. The only member of the team that does magic is the Orianna. Janna sort of, but the support doesn't really count in this case.
Yep, I mean, it really could be a case of wondering whether it'll be burst damage perhaps from Orianna coming in, because
and to Morelos in this case will be able to prevent Jerome from healing up damage if you're able to hit him with your spells in this case, because the Vayne, one of the strengths of her is she's able to win out these duels because of her ability to lifesteal with the Blade of the Ruin King. So if you have Beyond on the Syndra, if she went for the Morelos instead, that's going to help her shut down Jerome even more the moment she drops her ultimate onto him. Oh, Destroyer going to go for a flank over here. They definitely want to focus on the start. The stun goes onto Moon, but the Lee Sin will be backing away. Here comes the flank coming from 13 Ghosts. They haven't spotted out Destroy just yet. 269, a little bit of a pinch over here. Now we'll be running to Lee Sin, kick back to the rest of the team. The stun from Beyond will miss. He's been playing so well up to this point. The ultimate drops onto him, and it is going to be the execute coming from Crom with the Transcendent Blades coming through.
I mean, I have to say, despite the mechanical mistakes of 269, not quite proficient totally in that area, they are really hungry for blood. I mean, that was pretty much two flashes burnt on their side, but when they saw 13 Ghosts flash away, they said, there is no way you're getting away, and that is... Oh,
Dragon has spawned once again, and this is gonna be a dive coming from Kuala behind. Oh, the fluke! What are you doing, sir? But that's still good enough. Moon, way overextended under the turret, and he will be falling down immediately, and the response from Crom will be there as well. Beyond in a little bit of a tough position, and Jill will be picking him up. So, Flavors, let's try to stop here to breathe for a while, because this game has been non-stop action, 21 minutes and 30 deaths on both sides. It's been more than a kill a minute.
Too
Looks
much
like 269 has been a little bit of problems over here, but let's take a look at what's happening next week. Come on, let's bring that overlay up on the screen. So, okay, overlay or not, this is what's going to be happening next week. The top team from each group, there we go, we'll be playing in the Southeast Asian qualifiers.
Team, so just one team, right?
Yes, one team from each group. So from Group A, that's been locked in already. That's going to be the Bangkok Titans. No one ever expected to hear Bangkok Titans at top of the group in the GPL, but here it is.
Undefeated so far, man.
Undefeated 6-0, top of the group. It's Bangkok Titans from Group A. And in Group B, we have the Saigon Fantastic Fives. Current favorites to win the GPL, very strong, right in the previous GPL season.
Yeah.
And in Group C, the sister team, Saigon Jokers. After smashing Fat Rabbits 2-0 earlier this week, they've confirmed their slot at the top of the group. And now we're deciding who is it going to be from Group D after tonight. We might see a tie.
Yeah.
If KLH, they are able to beat out Zotac 269 2-0, and if Insidious Gaming, they do beat out their opponents K-Tanks by 2-0, we're going to see both of these two teams tied at the top of the table.
And that's of course going to be a very interesting situation given how we've called this the group of development. Well, I think a tie is only fitting for them to see who can get the one up on the other opponent, because as we've seen in the other groups, it's been pretty clear cut, BKT 6-0, right? SF5, SAJ, I think the record speaks for themselves. SF5 were the team to place just behind the Taiwanese Titans in the previous split. So they of course have that pedigree coming into competitive GPL. Whereas in Group D, these teams have been around, but they've scrapped and they've looked, you have to say, rough around the edges is a nice way to put it, but nevertheless, we need somebody to represent the group, the best, if you want, of the best of the group. So we'll have to see.
There
who
has
is
to be a winner, right? There has to be a winner. You can't just
Yeah.
go in there and say, you guys.
It's the shiniest rock of rocks among rocks. If there's a better way to put it, do let me know, J-Storm.
Flavors, they're not letting you escape. It's time to play. Name that player. So who is Destroy?
Well, if they line up according to their in-game lineup, he should be the second from the left.
I do believe that you have gotten this correct, but not
Yes!
all the players are in the correct lineup at the moment.
That's true. I
Because
mean,
if you do realize the substitute player,
yeah.
the girl, is standing in the center of the team. But currently, that is definitely not.
You know, I've always wondered about that, J-Storm. Every time we see a girl member on teams, most of the time, I mean, let's just be fair, they're substitute players. That's just how the lineups have been. But why are they in the center? They're not even playing.
I think this is rather a dangerous topic to be talking about at the moment.
Pause. Come on.
I mean, sure, it's a pause, but well, you've heard about Gamergate and things
Yes.
about
Gamergate.
emails being discussed and this kind of things. I don't want people knocking on my door and ordering pizza for me in the middle of the night.
That's true. No, but I mean, what I'm trying to say, of course, is the fact that given how they're portrayed in the team image as the middle, it would be nice to see them play a lot of times, because I feel a lot of times they're given the substitute name kind of just.
That's a publicity stunt. It
Yeah.
feels, it almost feels.
Yeah, we
that
want to
way.
see them play. We want to see any kind of substitute play. Let's just throw out gender out of the window. Every time we hear about a substitute on a team, I mean, this is something we have basically in all kinds of regions. You know, we have famous substitute players, Night Blue, you know, that kind of thing, or players that are on rosters of teams, but we don't see them come out, and
Here's
we want to see them.
a very interesting use of substitutes that we have seen a lot in the GPL.
Mm.
We've seen this. We see this currently on the SAJ team. I do believe the Fat Rabbits have this system as well. Okay, now, it's back to KLH also, but
Yeah.
talking about substitutes. So what these two teams do is that they have two mid lane players that substitute for each other. So we were talking about the differences between the mindset of a mage player and an assassin player.
Yes.
And these two mindsets are so different. What some of these teams do, because they aren't able to put in all that amount of practice, and the practice in the region isn't really the best, they just have one player specialized on assassins, and they'll play assassin comps when this player is there. And then they have one player specialized on mages, and they will focus on the mages
That's very interesting, and of
when the
course,
player plays instead.
you mentioned SAJ, and I think that's rightfully so. I mean, we've seen SAJ actually be the team in previous splits to bring out compositions that are very focused. You know, with I'd say SAJ sets themselves apart as a team to really go very far with the compositions, and that actually sets them themselves up to actually fall very heavily with the compositions as well. I remember they picked, you know, back in the day when Nidalee was very, very strong in her poke, they picked Nidalee, Jace, Caitlyn, you know, extremely long-range champions. And
I believe it was with a Varus, so they were going.
Varus, yes.
They're just saturating on the
tons
poke.
of long range. You know, they would swap in interchangeable parts, but the fact is they picked this composition that's like a sniper comp, you know, and they had such great poke. It was a joy to see, but they fell just as heavily if, you know, hard engage ever got a flank onto them and that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's definitely something that is very pertinent to bring out teams that want to play around a very specialized or very focused composition. Hey, if you've got the players and you've got the time to kind of groom them for specific purposes, that's something that is a joy to see, at least as from a caster perspective.
It is sort of a trade-off. You get better performances, but the thing is that your strategies become a little bit more transparent, because currently if it's SAJ, they're playing Lovita in the mid lane, it's definitely going to be an assassin in the mid lane, it's going to be his Fizz, it's going to be his LeBlanc, and the focus from safety will be in the mid lane as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives away a little bit of your strategy. So there's a little bit of a trade-off here in the use of your substitute. I believe AHQ, they used to do this as well with Mr. Elvis playing the mages and Westdoor playing
for
the
the
assassins. And we have all seen how scary and ridiculous Westdoor's Z is.
Yeah, I mean, Westdoor's performance, I mean, this is just casting our minds back to Worlds, and we have time now because we don't really know what exactly is the problem now with such a long pause.
There we go.
I say that.
Play resumes.
Westdoor, the story will be told at the next pause. Oh, here we have
There
it.
we go. They just paused it for you, Flavors. So we want to be hearing about
Yes.
Westdoor, the story.
So Westdoor, the story. I mean, we all recall his Z performance, and you know, it was just such a joy to see because, of course, as the game drags on, when you go against Zed, so many options start to come to light that make Zed's life much more difficult. You know, Exhaust when it comes to late game scenarios and you haven't been skirmishing for a long time, it seems like it's up all the time. You know, every team fight that matters, exhaust seems to be up because the team fights become, you know, more and more distance. And then you have Mikhail's again, that is up. And you know, the AD carry has all their summoner spells up. So I recall from Worlds one match where there was Mikhail Scimitar, both summoner spells available. I think there was a Mikhail's on the team as well. Everything that you could need to keep an AD carry alive. And Westor still got the kill on the AD carry. And I believe that won them the game. I'm trying to recall which game it was. But I just remember he got to the AD carry. His GA was pumped as well. Zed, Westor Zed had a GA.
Was it the very famous game against Edward Gaming?
Yes, it was Name.
Yes,
you are
it
right.
was Name. The one
Thank
where
you.
Green Team was able to land the God Hook.
Oh my goodness. And everyone was like, oh, how did Name still die?
Westor, he must be a
Yeah.
god.
And then he was like, we will escape the group of death. I believed.
I fell short by a little bit.
But you gotta say,
Just this much.
they really fought, you know, with their hearts on their sleeves, just giving everything that they had. And we'll have to see now, guys, because we want these teams in Group D to give everything they have as well.
They have been giving everything a little bit too much
much,
for my
you have to
liking,
say.
to be honest.
No, definitely we are on the same page on that matter. And Dragon is on the page for both of these teams as well. We'll have to see, though, who's been reading the Dragon hunting manual a bit more intensively, as KLH have already started it off and are barely taking any damage from it.
Destroy
Ooh,
wants
nice
to go for a
shockwave.
steal, but there we go, instantly bursting down one person. He just went in blind, he threw in the ball. Very good instincts from Azorovaki. The play was made completely blind, and Jaron will pick up the Dragon, now destroy, Nard into the wall. And here comes KLH. Will they be able to pick up any more kills? Celebrity out of the fight already. Crom as well is beyond, way too late to the party.
Alright, so looks like KLH just more ready to set up around the Dragon Pit. Although if you look at it, actually the wards were pretty much even from both teams. It's just Zoroveki being very decisive with his command shockwave, catching up both Celebrity and Sir right there to make it a very easy Dragon take after those members had been pushed away from 269.
Oh,
and
there
here
we
they
go. It is a Cataclysm onto Beyond. The Lantern has been dropped, but it's unable to survive. They get the exchange kill instead. Now they have overextended a little bit too much. Here comes the response from the rest of the team. Is 269 able to get any more? The focus is still on the turret. Caspiel takes one more hit, and Zoroveki is able to chunk the destroy with the command attack.
So, KLH, you know that point we were just talking about, JStorm, of giving a little too much? Really unnecessary to dive right there. They didn't even get the tier 1. Death timers are still relatively short, so it is the right move.
They did get the mid laner, however, so that's going to be removing their opponent's wave clear, making this start very easy. And with Sinja respawning soon, I doubt they will be able to get a second one.
Yeah, I was just worried for a moment, JStorm, because we've seen this kind of mistake before. Teams get a little antsy, and they dive the tower, they get, you know, one kill, but then they get pushed away, and then they don't realize that the tower is still within their grasp, and they're like, oh no, now we should play it safe. Let's back away from the tower, and then it just becomes a really silly moment and a missed opportunity.
Wait, Flavis, do you just say that either of these teams could feel that they should play it safe?
I don't know, man. That was me kind of just thinking that they might be thinking that, but they clearly don't. So
I mean, because this game has been non-stop action since the first few minutes from
go,
the Phil Leash on the crowd.
destroy, go now. Okay.
Oh, and there we
mind.
go, destroy. He goes in, and 13 goes. He will be popping the ultimate, and he will be becoming the Mega Nar. And oh man, the Graves just dies to Jeong's Bane in the bottom lane. Sir does land a hook, but the stun doesn't come in from Beyond.
He's still dead.
269, what are you doing?
Oh, that 13
Oh, the
goes.
chaser's coming in.
Ooh.
The stun comes in from Beyond. 13 goes dropped a little bit low. I do believe he did pop the teleport to try to go in for the dive. And Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they will be able to pick up the bottom lane turret for themselves.
And we can see that Jeong is building full machine gun mode. Doesn't just want the 2 purple items of the Blade of the Ruin King and the Ghost Blade. He wants the PD or the Static Shift as well. And that's really just tons of attack speed. Wants to juke around all the abilities, because if you look at it, it's pretty much all skill shots that will be fired at him, with the exception of Irelia jumping onto him. But even then, a late game Vayne can dance around Irelia and make her look very silly. So it might be a little bit of a stretch to say that.
Oh,
Oh,
hook onto
no!
Jaeyoung, and the flake comes in as well. All the focus dropped on the summon spell has been dropped, but an excellent shockwave lands onto two people. So that's going to buy them some time to disengage. An excellent monster comes in, but oh! Casper immediately melts, and Jaeyoung will be falling as well. Chrome, the sustained damage coming from him is just way too much. Moon is slowed down, the Blaze Surge comes in, and two more Zotac should be able to do it. That's number
He's got blue buff though.
one,
Ah!
and he doesn't even need it. Equilibrium Strike lets him just simply clean up that fight. 3 for nothing for 269. Kuala Lumpur Hunters getting caught out a little bit too aggressively.
What was Jaeyoung doing standing at the tier 2 right there? We can see absolutely no wards guarding the path towards the tier 2, and Becky just gets a kill off screen, so that's that. But I mean, Jaeyoung once again, it's only when he gets caught by the death sentence that the fights go downhill for KLH. And
Oh, Zoraveki destroy coming in from the backside. Is he able to get the kick down? The response command attack comes in. Chunks destroy down a little bit too low, and he will be forced to back away from that one. 269 to pick up another turret for themselves, and they are on the run from the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. 13 Ghosts pushing the top lane right now. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they're just willing to trade objectives, but you have to feel a little bit sorry for Observer because both of these two teams so disorganized, so little warps around the map. It's almost impossible to predict what's going to be happening next.
that's right. The poor Observer will have to be chasing all the action as much as he can catch. Now 13 Ghosts, his Mega Gnar has been popped. There it is, winding off back into his mini form. He will get out safe and sound. So a nice push by KLH onto the tier 2. Well, there was the very extended but unnecessary time spent trying to lock down Ozoroveki on the bottom side.
Oh, another failed recall deny coming in from the 269
That's
team.
right.
Oh wait, it was KLH who did it first. So Chrome is just returning the favor
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
like, you let Celebrity go once, I'll return the favor. Big items coming in now though, so
Oh, they catch a Moon over here. Is 269 gonna extend onto this one? The rest of KH aren't in position just yet to respond. But Zoroveki has joined the fight. He will be able to zero multiple members. They catch out Zoroveki, and it's gonna be the shutdown. Destroy with the Blaze coming in and finding the kills for 269.
Alright, Destroy definitely earned his name right there. The whole of KLH was probably like, there's no way he's gonna take this Lee Sin kick in, because I mean it's still a Jarvan, and I think Ozoroveki was just caught off guard right there. It's like, there's no way Lee Sin can reach me.
You know, whenever I see these Graves going to stop Jaeyoung's split push, I'm just gonna be waiting for the death animation of the Graves to pop on the left side of the screen. Because any AD carry one-on-one against Vayne, unless I believe you're Lucian, you're always almost gonna be losing that matchup.
Yeah, definitely Vayne against Graves. I mean, we can focus on that matchup because that's how it is. You have tons of ways to avoid, the damage coming out from Graves. You can dodge between his buckshot, around it, and even his ultimate if you time it very, very
Oh no,
nice.
Jaeyoung!
No, stay away from the wall!
Pulls him out! And Sir, what are you doing? Everything misses, but here comes Destroy! Is he able to let the kick? They get Jaeyoung! Someone saying something! They finally get Jaeyoung! Collateral damage coming in! Nothing goes, now the next focus! Moon should be trying to do as much damage as he can! Chrome comes in! Cataclysm dropped as well! Everything falling apart for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters! Jaeyoung! What were you doing?
Can they get the ace though?
It's over!
It's over! Oh my goodness, it's always Jaeyoung getting caught and then the downfall of KLH after. It's like they want to produce textbooks or something. It's just, why? Time and time again, J-Storm, I can't take this. This is painful. I don't want to read this book anymore.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters. It looked like they had a lead. It felt like they had things
They
going for
still
them.
have a lead, goodness. 1,000 gold. How is this even possible?
I don't even understand this game anymore.
What game is this?
Somebody teach me League of Legends. The casters, they have no idea what's going on because tactics, they don't matter. Boards, they don't matter. When it's KLH against 269, nothing matters because both of these two teams are just going to be bashing heads against each other, and we're going to be seeing Jaeyoung get caught out for the umpteenth time.
That's right. It's, you know when they revise textbooks? It feels like Edition 1, Jaeyoung gets caught. Edition 2, he gets caught somewhere else. And in Edition 3, he gets caught somewhere else. So we'll have to see, really.
It feels like KLH's feedback session is going to be like that. Okay, in this game we lost because Jaeyoung got caught here. So what's gonna happen? They're not gonna say, oh, how can we stop Jaeyoung from getting caught? They're just gonna be asking, so what happens if Jaeyoung gets caught in a different part of the map?
I mean, it's a totally different game then, guys.
I mean, he got caught in the blue buff area just now. He got caught outside the dragon pit, and then he got caught in the bottom lane, all around the same area. I think they're gonna try the top lane next.
You know, you are spot on with your analysis right there, J-Storm, because of course, the reason why KLH games are so long right now, we're seeing, is because they want to cover every possible zone that Jaeyoung can get caught.
Gotta figure out which place can Jaeyoung get
That's
caught
right.
in,
And then the most
before we win
favorable
the game.
outcome per zone, you know, so they'll do a very systematic, methodical survey of the rift. Unlike 13 Ghosts, this wasn't in the book. Only Jaeyoung can get caught. 13 Ghosts, stick with the plan. You're not supposed to get caught.
Well, but that was 269's textbook. That is how 269 should be playing their composition. They have this big composition, and okay, KLH, what are you guys doing?
All right, on a more serious note, the Wombo combo has been broken. They still have Jarvan and Orianna for it, but this is the right play for 269 to force, given how they have taken apart at least one portion of the combo. Nevertheless,
here comes Jaeyoung. Jaeyoung's leading the front line. Oh, he's gonna get caught outside his base now.
That would cover one of their bases, and then they only have, 99 more zones to cover, and then they'll have mapped the entire rift, and then they can win, J-Storm. Don't try and deny them their textbook play, alright?
Okay, we've got to keep track of this Jaeyoung gets caught track over here. So he's been caught 3 times so far, and now Moon gets caught out by Sir Jaeyoung! Jaeyoung gets caught outside the brown pit right now. The ball comes in from the back. Exhaust has been dropped. Collateral damage comes in as well. They are unable to catch Jaeyoung. Jaeyoung's still alive. He's doing tons of damage. Come on, Shockwave comes in. Moon! He's doing so much damage. Destroy! Is he able to destroy? And the answer's no on everything. He falls as well.
So, the answer to where Jaeyoung can get caught is the river area.
And there we go. KLH just figured it out. Jaeyoung, he died in the fight.
But nobody else did.
But nobody else did. So KLH is like, okay, we figured it out, guys. We figured it out for this game. My only hope for them now is that they can carry this same idea and bring it to the next game as well. Don't get caught in the bottom lane. Don't get caught outside your opponent's blue buff. Don't get caught at the dragon pit. I'm not very sure you should get caught at Baron as well, but if it wins you the fight, that's fine.
Oh, 13 Ghosts here. The rest of KLH is like, man, we have got to go.
Oh, the best
he gets it. He gets it. All right, I lost it right there because the rest of KLH clearly were like...
He took one for the team. He took one for the team.
And clearly the team was like, yeah, you're going to have to take this one for us because they wanted no part in that. Look at the Kram. He's like, man, screw you guys. I want some blood.
And here's the thing, is KLH sticking to the plan once again. Guess who wasn't there when they were taking the inhibitor? It was Jaeyoung. Because if Jaeyoung was there, then they will try. Jaeyoung gets caught outside his opponent's inhibitor.
What is this? KLH won a fight at Baron, didn't drop any vision, and could this be the sneaky play coming in from 269? Now, it's totally blind.
Oh, very low right
all the
now.
pings coming in. Destroy. Gonna get wrecked by Baron. Has the safety ward. Needs to stick around to just smite it. Gets it. Gotta jump over. Jump. Okay. So, just an interesting turn of events right there. KLH, I mean, I think this is the right time to bring out the C word right there. Complacent, right?
So
they had the vision. Let me just finish this point real quick before all the other things come in.
In a lot of scientific journals, you realize that there's going to be this section that asks you how can you account for bias of your results and how repeatable is your experiments. So KLH, they figure out the first part. They have the hypothesis now. If Jaeyoung gets caught outside Baron, we are going to win the fight. And now they have to repeat an experiment a second time. They almost succeeded in it. Jaeyoung was way overextended. He almost got caught outside the Baron pit once again. But they weren't able to pull off the experiment. So I don't think it's that repeatable. And now Zotac 269, they have the Baron buff. 27 kills to 27 kills. Somebody has to teach me how to play League of Legends.
No, clearly you are right because it concurs with my point as well that I was going to say the complacency of KLH. They were saying, you know, if we get Jaeyoung near the river portion where he died just now, everything seems to go alright. And we saw Jaeyoung and the rest of Ko kind of just farming in mid lane without checking the Baron pit. They really were just farming the middle wave and they pinged it, didn't move over because of course they had no vision in the pit itself. And just really nicely done.
Jaeyoung, you don't get caught in the bottom area, but it's for Moon as well as Casville. They're going Cataclysm, drops onto one.
Oh, they got him!
Immediately will drop down. Jaeyoung now drop Extreme, but the exhaust will be there. But here comes Celebrity, collateral damage. Jaeyoung drops so low, but will there be a follow-up? The smite goes down to if they catch Jaeyoung.
The double stun!
Jaeyoung dodges it. So much damage. He turns around. Celebrity! He catches out Jaeyoung in the end. It's a game of tag. And sorry, Raki. Now coming in. Celebrity. Justin goes in the top lane. He's pushing on the start. So much things happening on the map.
Alright.
And it's like, what is it? It's a game of tag. And Jaeyoung is the focus.
No, I mean, clearly right there, that was KLH not sticking to their textbook play, because we saw Jaeyoung get caught out at a similar position as before. And J-Storm, they've already covered this area. They don't need Jaeyoung to get caught out here again, you know. So that really was quite poor play by KLH, letting Jaeyoung get caught in a position in which he's been caught before. Now this would be good play from KLH to steal this, but look at this. They're actually holding the dragon for... oh, wait, what? So Moon... I'm confused. That ward right there by Dragon gave them vision to know that Destroy wasn't anywhere near, because, hey, he's actually taking care of the minions in the base, and...
I have to say though, that was rather good mind games coming in from 269. They just waited down there.
Yeah.
Although collateral damage wasn't up.
Yeah.
The Grace made it look like he had it because they knew that Moon was extremely low.
Yeah.
So they made it look very dangerous for him. We saw them stack on the shields, but in the end, Moon didn't dare to pull the trigger and go in for the steal.
Well, right, which was just a bit strange because the super minions had just given them vision of Destroy, and with that, 4 dragons over to 269. Not to mention that they had just gotten a Baron. And well, I want to cast our minds back again to the Baron take, because I think maybe it was a little harsh on KLH to say they were just complacent. They had wards around the entry ways of Baron Pit by walking, but they didn't account for the fact that Thresh would come over the side, Lee Sin would come over the side, and Graves would come over the side. And those were the 3 guys that started it off. And by the time they got vision of Beyond actually moving in with his Syndra, who can't fly over the ledge or the Baron Pit, they were like, oh, crap. So that still is a little bit of a misstep by KLH, taking the middle inhibitor and then thinking that 269 would let up on their aggression. I mean, do the 28 kills not tell you something? Is this a team that's going to slow down? I don't think so, guys. Come on.
I think what both of the coaches stood on before the game is, guys, this is an important game. You gotta give it your 200%, and the player's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give it my 200%. So they go in and they die once in the team fight. They respawn and then they rejoin the team fight for a second time and die. I do believe Moon has been able to achieve that, as well as Chrome. Both of these two players, they have died twice in the same team fight already.
And I mean, we're seeing some insane stats to come in as well. Let's just chunk some numbers for you guys. 24 assists coming in from Moon. You just mentioned him, J-Storm, and 2 kills. So 26 out of 29 possible assists. Very nicely done right here. But look at this. 13 goes very split from his team. There's the TP in. Are they going to get the tower? No, they don't have it down yet.
Oh, and here we go. It's engagement coming in. They get one already. Celebrity gets knocked out.
Jaeyoung
goes into so many people. Jaeyoung completely untouched right now. It's a double kill right now for the Fade. Seraph will be the focus. And now Beyond, he pops the Sonya's infertility. It is going to be the ace as Kuala Lumpur Hunters just clean up their opponents who got a little bit indecisive around the turret.
That's right. 269 had to decide whether or not they wanted to take down the tower. And they were just busy asking each other the question, and nobody had the answer.
Now will KLH be able to end out the game? They have 20 seconds to do so right now. Are they going to stop the farm the minions? They did it once already. Are they going to do it a second time? They're going to be going for the inhibitor right now. So they will be able to get the 10 seconds until the rest of the teams respond. Are they going to go for it? 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 3.
It's going to be close.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be close. That's
it.
the first Nexus start. It's out. First Nexus start. It's going to be the second one. 269. This is a desperate attempt. Are they able to pull off the defense? They get the command shockwave. Jaeyoung's focused down right now. Are they going to go for the Nexus? Are they going to go for the defense instead? Celebrity doing so much damage to the back line. But Jaeyoung's still alive. Jaeyoung, he's still alive. Is he able to stop this one? Now Beyond has respawned. And it is the barrier. KLH, they win the fight. And it's going to be a triple kill. 8-8 and 14. KLH, they win the last fight of the game and pick up the Nexus for themselves.
Right.
4 dragons, 1 Baron, and no and 0 cares from KLH as they just steamroll through their opponents, and they realize finally that if Jeong doesn't get caught, we win the game.
Ooh, surprise, surprise, J-Storm. So, 39-29, the end score. A very, very bloody game. Whoa, look at that. We've got all kinds of things flying at us. Anyways, about a 60 kill game. Oh, excuse me, even more than that. 40, yeah, it's about a 30 kill game. I'm off by 10. So, about a 70 kill game for a 40-minute game.
68 kills.
It's really, really brutal coming in. Of course, I mean, we joke about it, but definitely this is something that KLH will have to consider if they run a similar composition into the next game. Is they
So,
really just need Jaeyoung to not get caught.
IEM qualifiers is still up for grabs here for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They need to win the second game.
Yeah.
And maybe if instead of Gaming Legends, they get complacent once again, if they slip up a little bit, and then they give it to them. But KLH, they need to do their part and at least take out Zotac 269 with a 2-0 score.
Yeah, and of course, guys, that is it for game number 1. We'll be back for more crazy GPL Group D action in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's just a bit of a short break, and then we'll be back for game number 2. See you guys soon.
Wow, banana. 哇，你好，你好，hello hello，哎，来来来，给安哥一个哈啊。